They killed Big Bertha. That 8-pound bass showed up at my dock every single morning for 3 years straight. I named her, fed her, watched her grow. Now she's floating belly up alongside 200 other fish, all because my HOA president thinks she owns my lake. At sunrise, the chemical reek clawed at my throat. Sharp copper sulfate, mixed with the stench of rotting scales. Vivian Blackwater had dumped $3,500 worth of industrial algicide into what used to be crystal clear water, turning it into something that looked like antifreeze. I stood there gripping Bertha's slimy, lifeless body, my hands shaking with rage. But then something hit me, something almost poetic. Vivian's shiny subdivision pulls its drinking water from the same underground spring that feeds my lake. Every tap, every sink, every one of those 847 homes. She didn't just wipe out my fish. She poisoned her entire neighborhood, and she has no idea what storm she just unleashed. Ever had neighbors who thought they could wreck your property just because they didn't like what you were doing? Drop your location in the comments. And if you've got an HOA horror story of your own, share it. You're gonna want to stick around for this one. My name's Marcus Reed. At 52, I never expected to be in a war with a woman who probably spends more on manicures than I make in a week. But that's life in suburbia. I'm a retired electrician turned solar installer here in Pine Ridge, North Carolina, the kind of man who builds with his hands and believes folks ought to mind their own damn business. My 12-acre property with its spring-fed lake has been in my family since 1952, back when these hills were tobacco fields and people still had common sense. Every morning I walk the gravel path my grandfather laid, boots crunching over stones smoothed by decades of fishermen. The dock planks feel warm and worn beneath my palms, still slick with dew, carrying the weight of 3 generations.